Assalamu alaikum and very warm welcome to everyone. I am Maliha Shoaib, Vice Principal of East International School and Educationist with a deep passion for exploring wisdom from across the world. Today, I am truly honored and excited to host a very special guest, a woman whose work beautifully blends ancient era education with modern spiritual coaching. Please welcome Joanna, a transformational coach, writer, and counselor currently based in Peru. First of all, Joanna, it's such a pleasure to have you here. Let's begin with your inspiring journey. First of all, can you tell us about yourself, personal journey, and what led you from Europe to Peru?
All right. Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me. The internet in Peru sometimes is very bad. All right. I'm Polish. I'm from Poland, Europe, and I used to travel a lot. Um, I lived in the United States, in France, a little bit in mm, and the UAE and Emirates, and then I stayed in Poland some time. I had my two sons, and then I decided to move to Peru. Um, it's just that I like Peru because it's an ancient country. It has a lot to offer. It's beautiful, just like Pakistan, because I've been to Pakistan as well. In Pakistan, you've got Himalayas, mountains, and in Peru, you've got Andes. And I live in the Andes in Peru. So the landscapes are beautiful. But I also met my husband here, and I'm married to a Peruvian man. And now I'm starting my project. I just want to invite people to Peru for a mystic workshop, because I think it's a perfect place to do it, to transform your life and use the idea of shamanism, the culture of shamanism from here, from Peru, and also use the culture from Europe and Asia, which is the Vedic knowledge, in fact, and we've got that in common. India, Pakistan, and Poland has the same culture. In fact, we are connected through language and through mythology and through philosophy. So that's what I do. I joined that philosophy, but the workshop will be very practical. It's just all about getting back to yourself and discovering your potential. So I hope I answer your question.
Yes. My second question is, how did you first discover era ancient knowledge and traditions?
um, I'm Polish, so I don't know if you all guys know, but the Slavic culture, and mostly Polish, it's very much connected to the Indian and Pakistani knowledge, Pakistani ancient science, which is that's all you've got in your culture, in your language. So when I was young, I loved languages. And firstly, I started thinking, what an interesting language we've got, right? So I was learning Polish and I was learning Russian. And then I started learning English and French and many other languages, also Arabic and Urdu and Hindi. And then I discovered Sanskrit. And I discovered that Sanskrit is the basis for Urdu and Hindi, right?
Can you
Then
understand Urdu language?
uh, I can, yeah, and then I discovered that the Sanskrit is very much connected to all Slavic languages and Polish. And there are lots of scientists who discovered that too, um, even 100 years ago. So we've got similar words. And this was the beginning of my journey through languages. I was just thinking, like, for example, in Polish, you've got the word Bóg, and this is God. And I don't know exactly in Urdu, but in Sanskrit, we've got the word Bhaga. And we've got the word Bóg, which is exactly Bóg. It's like Bhaga. It's very similar, right? And there are thousands of words which are like this, just similar. Sometimes the pronunciation is different, but the grammar is very similar. So then I discovered I was reading Bible, I was reading the Quran, and I was reading the Vedas, and I found that the philosophy is common, and it was very, very interesting, very fascinating for me. And that's how I discovered Aryas and all the philosophy and mythology, which is common for Europe and Asia. And there are also other ancient civilizations in India, right, and in Pakistan, like South Asia. Very interesting is the philosophy and culture of China. So it's all very interesting. But then I found out that there's also something like shamanism, which is just the philosophy of nature. It's all about nature. Like um, how do we live? Why do we get sick? How to get back to be healthy? And it's all about four elements like water, air. And I found out that this philosophy is all over the world, also in Peru. So I discovered the same philosophy of life, like the laws of nature, are in Americas and in Asia, right? So yeah, that was my big journey, and it's not finished. I'm discovering something every day, like what people say, what are the stories, how do they speak, right? What is the philosophy, what is the culture? Then goes everything which is the how do you pray, how do you meditate? That's all my journey. That's what I do. I'm I'm not so much a coach in the sense of um, I'm just like a spiritual coach, right? We call it wiedma in Polish. So it's something like a spiritual coach, something like that, because it's very practical. I help people to understand themselves, and if they've got a problem, we solve it. Yeah.
Sounds good. You well explained. My next question is that what kinds of transformation do participants usually experience during your workshops?
Could you repeat, please? Because the voice is breaking.
Okay, I said, what kinds of transformations do participants usually experience during your workshops?
Look, mm, we do 4 ceremonies, and they are connected. Those are like the meetings. You meet in a circle, the meeting, right? and we do the ceremony, which is like a rite of passage, right? It's connected to the four elements. So there is the water ceremony connected to the water, and water element is all about our relationships and our feelings. Okay, this part. And it's the ceremony connected to the how you can be born again, how you can change yourself. So it's the feeling of enter. It's just like in the Bible or in the any religion, or even I've seen in India. I don't know if it's in Pakistan, that you kind of enter the water to clean yourself and do the rebirth. So we do this kind of ceremony, and it's very rejuvenating, right? Um, and it's connected to the love of your mother. Then we do the ceremony respected to the air element, and it's all about stories, about communication, and it's all about freedom also. We do the ceremony of fire, um, and it's connected to, well, we just do the fire, right? How do you say, fire camp? And because elements will clean you, clean not only your, because we don't only have the physical body, we've got other bodies like emotional, etherical, right? So all that aura will be clean. Um, and that ceremony, in that ceremony, we'll just sit around the fire and we'll do some ceremony, right? We'll sing, we'll meditate, and so on. And there is also a ceremony connected to, very much Peruvian, connected to the earth. And here we call it Pachamama. And this is the ceremony that we do in, there are ruins of Incas, and Incas were ancient civilization here in Peru. And there over there, there's a big altar, there's a sacred space, and we just over there give thanks to the Mother Earth, and we connect ourselves to all the nature, right? The Mother Earth, the ground. We get grounded. Um, and the earth element is connected to everything like stabilization, money, um, and everything which makes you grounded, like health as well, right? So that you are healthy. So we do that, but during the workshop, we also simply do the meetings, like the circles, and we just talk. We just share our stories, sing songs, and I have some kind of meditation cards that I use, that I produced, and I use them for this workshop. And of course, the part of the workshop is also visiting, because it's Andes mountains and very beautiful. We visit canyons and lakes and so on. So, but basically, the workshop does the transformation of your whole life, in the sense you touch four domains of your lives, right? So your relationships, your very much your communication, the way you communicate, how you where's your freedom. It touches the basics, like your health, your stability, all that, right? So there are four domains of your life, and we just touch it, and each we kind of clean and free. Because sometimes people are stuck in some way, okay? They have problems with the relationship or with themselves, like I don't really feel happy, satisfied myself, and so on, right? And sometimes they have problems with money, right? With stability, with all that. So we touch, it's like four steps, 1, 2, 3, 4. In those 4 steps, we transform, and we do it also through, how to say it, also mythology, archetypes, if you know that. So archetypes, it's all about philosophy and psychology. Um, it's just like the Jung said. And the thing is that we've got inside ourselves like four persons always, four women in a woman, four men in a man. Okay, four times types of personalities we've got. So we just transform all that and put together, right?
Okay, my next question is very important. In what ways do India Pakistan cultures and languages connect with your teaching?
In what way the Pakistani culture and language connects to what? To what I do?
I said, how do people reconnect, yeah, connect with your teachings? In
You
what
mean,
ways do India Pakistan cultures and languages connect with your teachings?
all right, so you just want to develop what I said before, right?
Yes.
Um, that's a complicated question because you cannot answer it quickly. I just said that before in Europe and Asia, there was one culture. There was this shamanism, which is connected to like North Asia and the territory of Siberia and also South India. Uh, India, I'm not talking about country. I'm talking more like about territories. All right.
Hmm.
Um, and all that culture of Europe, but basically Europe and Asia, it was connected to, we call them Arya people, and Arya just means nobles. And in Vedas, uh, you have information about them, and they just were spreading this culture connected to the language and philosophy. And it's just, I mean, in that way, for example, Slavic culture connects itself to India, Pakistan, and China because all those countries have basic shamanism, and in the sense that everybody knows that there are some laws of nature and that there are four elements, because everybody, all of you, even if you are Muslim, you know that there are four elements, right? There's water, air, fire, and earth, right? So this is the basic, and everybody knows that I've got like we are mostly water in our body, right? Everybody knows how the nature works, but that's all shamanism. Because if you know how you work, you know how to get back to be healthy without any medicine. You just need to see what is your way of life. Um, for example, fire is all your activity. Um, earth is all your stability. Have you got a house? Have you got money? Have you got something to eat? It's all element of earth, right? So you need to balance your life. And that's common to all Europe and Asia, or even more, the whole world. But then I don't know how to respond to that because this is a difficult question. For example, in the language, I told you the basic language of Europe and Asia. I mean, there were a few languages, okay? One of them, like for example, one of them, there is a language which we call Arya Slavic, but this language is connected to Sanskrit. They are like brothers, okay? And like English is like, oh, baby, baby, okay? The most ancient is that. but there are also other languages in Asia, right? I'm not saying that this is the only one. I'm just saying that Urdu, Hindi, and Slavic languages like Russian or Polish are connected through this basic language. I know that there are other languages, okay, because there is a Dravidian culture and so on, but just talking about that Sanskrit is connected to Polish, for example, because they've got one ancestor, all right, one father. So they are brothers in this sense. But it's difficult. I told you, Bhaga, Bog, or for example, when you count, I say raz, dwa, trzy, cztery, pięć. Now, can you tell me what is in Urdu? Because it's like, for example, punch, pięć is like five, right? Or punch is, right? So, Chaturya, I think it's in Sanskrit. I don't know exactly in Urdu, but Chaturya cztery is four. And I'm just talking about numbers, but there are thousands of words which are just similar, right? Um, you can tell me. So tell me in Urdu, what are your numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because it goes over there. It's all connected. So we've got basic one philosophy and language. Now, Islam and Catholicism and Christianism, they are later on, later, okay? There is some part of culture over there, but it's much more later in time. Before that, there was one common culture and philosophy, which is more ancient. It's just all religions are like children of that philosophy.
Okay, my next question is that how can people assess your webinars, books, or schedules, consultations?
Right. I put my website over there. Okay, so my name is Joanna, and from Matrix to Self. I think I put it well or not. From Matrix to Self. Maybe there's an error, so we can just correct it. We need to correct it, or I will put it in comments. I had problems with I don't know, entering here. Basically, you go to this website, but I think you will publish that interview on Facebook, right? So I've got my Facebook profile, and all the information is over there, right? I may send you a link to a short video about the workshop, and there are all the necessary links to enter and to check what it is about. There is a full description, and there is also an email I gave you, right? And the WhatsApp. You can contact me through WhatsApp. My WhatsApp is from Peru, but it doesn't matter, right? So my WhatsApp number is 51. That's the Peru code, and then 999-333-717. So you can contact me through this WhatsApp, or just like I said, I think we can put links in the description. I don't know how you do it, or in the commentary, or you can just observe my Facebook, right?
Right. Okay, my last question is, do you have plans to bring your teaching to Pakistan or other countries in Asia?
Uh,
Do you have any plan?
I do everything online.
Okay.
I've got look, I write books, and all my books are in Polish, but they will be in English, and you can buy them through my shop online. I do webinars. You can access them online, and I do everything online. Now the workshop in Peru is physical, so it's for people who want to come to Peru, and I invite you. And for a moment, I'm in Peru. All right, I probably will be visiting Poland. I was thinking about coming to Pakistan and India later on, but for a moment, I'm just building my offer, right? And I need to be in Peru. Um, I don't see anything in the near future, maybe in a few years' time. I used to be a teacher, so I had yeah, I had some projects common with Rehan Ahmed Alahbara, see, right? Um, but I'm not a teacher anymore. I've got a few courses online to sell, but I'm not teaching anymore, so I don't really do that. Yes, I would like to come back to Pakistan because it's beautiful to visit. But for projects, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have plans for a moment.
Okay, Joanna, thank you so much for joining us today. I was truly an honor to have this insightful conversation. I am sure our audience has learned a lot from experience and wisdom. To everyone watching, stay connected, stay inspired, and until next time, Allah Hafiz, take care. I am your host, Malia Shweb. Keep learning, keep growing.
Thank you.